Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. It's finally Friday. You can relax, the weekend is here, and that means a whole lot of goodness, and we've got a phenomenal show to fling you into that fun two-day break. We're talking all about secret features of the Switch OLED, new features coming to Nintendo Switch, some new game announcements, and Metroid Prime Remake. Oh, and it sounds like it's gonna be good. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're all having a magical day. Make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the show, and let me know in the comments down below what you think about today's topics. I really hope you're doing well. I just feel this connection between us now. We are 160 episodes deep. It's October, it's Halloween season, it's almost holiday gaming season, and the best is yet to come. I feel like we were just at episode 100, and now 200? I can see it. I can also see what Emily Rogers was saying when she mentioned that there were many more games to still be revealed for this year. Today, we've got two to talk about real fast, including the GTA remasters, which Kotaku says are coming in November. We touched on them yesterday, that a rating popped up on a South Korea ratings board, and it seems like their launch is imminent. Now, the 20th anniversary of GTA 3 is on October 26th, so maybe they'll drop the announcement then and then pop them a few weeks later. That would be nearly perfect. Also, A Boy and His Blob are returning to your neighborhood because A Boy and His Blob is back on Switch this fall. Just got announced this morning, bringing WayForward's Wii platformer to the next era of Nintendo. And it's gonna be HD because they made an HD version for other platforms. And this is a very charming, simple but transformative platformer because you feed your blob different jelly beans and it helps him transform into different puzzle solving and platforming items and creatures. Let me know in the comments down below if you're gonna check this one out. I think it's very cute. Switch OLED is a pretty snazzy system. I'm loving the colors. I've been making dedicated videos covering the unboxing, the internet speeds, and we got more to come. But today I found some hidden features and I wanted to detail them for you real quick. There's a new item.
You might remember last year, we played some Grindstone on Nintendo Switch, and it was awesome. The game tickled all my happy bits, so it's extra good news that today's video is brought to you by Cappy Games and Grindstone is back. But I'm gonna keep it extra simple for you, all right? I'm gonna give you 5 good reasons why you gotta check this one out. Number 1, they've added tons of new content to the game, all right, including the first ever new playable character as part of their Monsters and Mamas update that just dropped. Plus, they're always bringing in new levels, new ways to play, new seasonal challenges, and that keeps things very fresh and very fun. Number 2, the music is amazing. It's a joy to listen to, and thank goodness gracious, because there's over 250 levels, and if the music was annoying, it would really suck. Number 3, there's tons of modes, all right? Lots of different ways to play this one. Campaign mode, daily challenges, boss rush style modes, and online leaderboards so you can challenge your friends. Number 4, the game is glorious to look at and to play, all right? The critters are very cute, but when you slice and dice, it feels so satisfying. Plus, I appreciate that there's a bunch of ways to upgrade and improve your character as you go, so lots of replayability. And number 5, the game's currently 30% off on Nintendo Switch, the lowest price it's been, so make sure to click the link in the description down below to check out Grindstone. Every time you click, it helps support the channel, so I appreciate it, and straight up, this game is fantastic. Plus, one of you is gonna get lucky. We got a game code to give away. All you gotta do is like the video and leave a comment, and we'll hook one of you up.
There's a new item in the system menu that only exists on the Switch OLED. It says console screen colors, and you can change between standard and vivid. Now, the Switch OLED comes default set on vivid mode, and that's why all that saturation, those hues are just bam, popping off the screen. I turned it down to standard to see what that would do, and it does reduce the effect a bit, but the screen is still ultra clear and ultra crisp and still notably brighter than the OG Switch. I'm not sure what that does, if it's impacting the battery life in any way, or maybe if you just want to subdue things and you're like, whoa, the rainbow explosion is overwhelming my eyes and I want to turn some of these greens and blues and reds just down a notch. It's a slight tweak, but it's interesting that it's there. And now you have this vivid option and this standard option, very akin to a TV. Also want to highlight Mr. Kickstand, because when he came out of the box, I noticed that it was very cold, and I thought maybe that was from transit or just packaging, but this morning, he was very cold again, and it's because they've used a new material. I don't know if this is just like a really souped up plastic, or if it is actually a metal. Either way, it feels higher quality than anything on the original Switch, and it does provide a nice cool breeze. When you wake up in the morning, when you first pick up your Switch OLED, it's gonna feel a little cold on those back fingers right there, but I don't know. It's a minor thing. I just like the build quality, and I do like the little zip to the touch. Now, regardless of whatever Switch you may have, Metroid is for everyone. We know Dread is out, but there's Prime 4 lurking in the distance, and there's also the specter of the old Primes. Previously, we thought that Metroid Prime Trilogy was done and about to be delivered, probably leading up to the launch of Prime 4, providing those classic games on a new platform. Well, in recent time, we've heard from Emily Rogers that no, it's not actually the trilogy, it's Metroid 1 remaster/remake. Since then, many others have chimed in and said, yeah, I'm hearing that too. And now Jeff Grubb gets on board saying, hey, I think that Nintendo will re-release Metroid Prime 1 on Switch instead of Trilogy. It has been working on this for years, and when I first heard, everyone, including me, assumed it was the Trilogy. Emily Rogers mentioned this, and I went back to look into it, and I think she's right. And it sounds like she is right in more ways than one, because this game sounds right for me and for you. It's not just looking to be an HD version of Metroid Prime 1. No, the GameCube game that started it all for the Prime franchise is coming back in a mixture, a blur between remake and remaster that some insiders say leans much more towards remake. And they're really gonna soup this one up for the modern era. And it sounds like soup it up soon. Reliable and often mentioned Nintendo insider Nate Drake says, I'd estimate the game is announced anytime between the Game Awards in December and E3 next June. Depends on when they intend to slot it for release. The game is finished. The Game Awards may be a bit too close to Dread, but maybe they announce Prime Remaster in the first direct of 2022. And then in a separate post, he says Prime 1 in 2022 is a near lock as long as no other world-changing events transpire. It's ambitious and will be a treat for fans. Now, I'd love to see Nintendo tackle this, and it sure sounds like they're going to morph Metroid Prime 1 from something that was GameCube great to something that is Switch spectacular. And Nintendo, they've done ports, right? We've seen them convert Wii U games to Switch and take Skyward Sword and make it HD, but they really haven't done like a full-on remake. They've never done it with Mario, they haven't done it with Zelda. They'll modify controls, add a little bit of content, and tighten the resolution, but this would be a first, and I'm really eager to see what they could do and what new standards they set for the Prime franchise as we prepare for 4. And I am pumped to see this Metroid Prime 1 remake announced as soon as December and playing in our hands next year. If you guys are excited for more Metroid in the form of a Prime 1 remake, what do you think it could be? Are you excited for it? Let me know in the comments down below. But the Friday fun don't stop there, because new details, information, and patents reveal that Nintendo is prepping more for the Switch. And not just in the form of games, but in the form of improving the infrastructure, improving the hardware in the system itself. You see, back in November of 2020, Nintendo filed a patent that was just published today, indicating they're working on a quick resume feature, the likes of which we see on the newest iteration of Xbox consoles, Series X and Series S. This is a feature where when you're in one game, you can pause, pop out, begin another game, and if you swap back, your progress is right where you left off. It doesn't have to shut down and reboot up and reload in and go through a whole intro process. It's just bam, bam. One game, two game, back and forth. You can play a little Mario Party Superstars online action, and then hey, swap and design your AC Island. You can go from fighting off an enemy robot in Metroid Dread to prepping for the next battle in SMT5. And that's something the Switch don't do whatsoever and struggles with mightily, because some of the games take quite a long time to boot up. Now, recently in the 13.0 update, Nintendo apparently increased the speed for some games on startup, but there still are some like Animal Crossing that take forever. And so this feature would be really welcome. The patent specifically says, at a time of the switching, in the case where a currently executed game is in the play scene, the game is interrupted and switching is performed to another game. It says the game is restarted from the time of the interruption of the play scene. So it would be holding your progress and you could just go back and forth. Now, I don't know if Nintendo would be integrating this on the current Switch or on that Switch we won't name, the one that maybe they're working on that involves a number 4 and the letter that comes after J. Anyhow, this would be a big boost. And you might be wondering, how could Nintendo do this? Because Xbox Series X has a strong SSD, and that's what it's taking advantage of to swap back and forth between these ultra-powerful, ultra-modern games. Well, for once, it's good that Nintendo Switch doesn't have the most ultra-modern technology because it wouldn't need an SSD to swap back and forth between its games based on the resolution that they're running at. At least that's according to some people who have taken a look at the patents and taken a look at the system and say that it would be possible on the Switch without a solid-state drive. But the secrecy doesn't stop there, because more patents were published today, these ones initially filed in March of 2020, and they show that Nintendo themselves were working on some sort of upscaling technology, a way to make images look better on their systems. And when you read through all the jargon, you realize that this is Nintendo's own attempts at something very similar to NVIDIA's DLSS technology. That's deep learning super sampling, and it's the tech that allows them to upscale image resolution and quality without really taxing the graphics card all that much. It's really impressive, and it actually was the core of what many thought Nintendo would be using to provide a 4K Switch system. Because this way they wouldn't have to put in a superpowered GPU and spend a bunch of money there. They could just use AI to artificially make things look real good and upscale them to 4K. Now, it's not clear if Nintendo was investigating this because maybe they wanted to do it on their own, or perhaps this was before they decided to really look heavily into DLSS, or perhaps it was before DLSS 2.0 arrived. I don't know, and these patents don't make it clear. Perhaps Nintendo is going to go forward with NVIDIA, perhaps they're going to go forward on their own, but what's great about this is it shows that no matter what you believe about the rumors and the rumbles, Nintendo is hard at work on new features. They are hard at work on improving their hardware, and they are hard at work at taking the Switch to the next level, making the image quality better, the resolution better, while not having to significantly up the price or worry about the things that the next-gen consoles worry about, and adding a quick resume feature that makes it seem more next-gen, even if it doesn't have all the oomph of a PS5 or a Series X. I love to see Nintendo not just going for gimmicks, because sometimes gimmicks are great and other times they're not, but I love to see them investing, researching, and developing tech. It's a piece of the puzzle that Nintendo often skips, misses, and we often crave. And so having both, our cake and eat it too, being able to play Mario and make it look awesome, I mean, that's the dream. And it's so cool to see Nintendo. The wheels are turning. I don't know when Quick Resume or DLSS will debut, but I hope it's sooner rather than later. And like we've said in a lot of videos, 2022 or 2023 could definitely see another Switch system. I surely don't think the OLED is the last in this lineup, but we'll save that for another day. In the meantime, let me know what you think. And would you prefer Quick Resume or would you prefer image upscaling? If you had to pick one, which would it be? Let me know in the comments. And now, let's go to the polls. It is October, it is the spooky season, and so I had to ask a Halloween-inspired question. It's October 1st, have you already planned your costume, Nintendo Switch fans? And you could say yes, not yet, or I won't be dressing up. Now, 56% of you, you're not getting in the costume spirit. And I'll admit, I'm not a big Halloween person myself, but I did it a year or two ago for the first time in forever, like a decade. It was pretty fun, all right? And I'm thinking of doing some sort of Ted Lasso costume this year. I feel like our positivity aligns even if our look maybe doesn't. I feel like our shoe game and our outlook is pretty comparable, so I'll keep you posted on that one. But yeah, 56% said no dressing up, 25% said haven't figured it out yet, and 19% of you are locked in. I picked that one because I think I got it. I think I know what I'm gonna do, and we'll wait and see in 30 days how many of you have your gear locked in by that point. But lock in for the weekends, my friends. Good Morning Mario will return on Monday. I hope you guys enjoy your break. Take it easy, take good care of yourself, eat a good breakfast, get some good sleep, take a deep breath. All right, find a few things you're grateful for, zero in on those, and watch your day and your mood all get better. I love you all so much. I appreciate all your support, all your love. It helps me go. And now I gotta go. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.